to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
Well, that was the night that we launched Operation Epic Fury. But now that the United States is close to reaching its objectives there, where are the Iranian uprisings? We'd hoped to see them. Is it still too premature? Is it still too dangerous? Well, we know, of course, the new regime is putting out propaganda videos. Here with analysis is pastor and author David Nasser. He fled Iran in 1979 after being held at gunpoint while at school. He was only 9 years old. David, a lot of Americans are wondering, you know, again, where are the uprisings from the Iranian people? I don't put much stock into that video that we just saw. It seems like Baghdad Bob kind of stuff to me. But it's a legitimate question, is it not? Where are the people?
I really think it's a valid question, Laura. I think what we're seeing, even what's happening right now in Tel Aviv, is a republic that operates in fear. Their currency is fear, who is actually on their heels. This is a sobering reminder that they're on their last gasp. And the Iranian people, at this moment, I believe, are being strategic. I think our allies, America, Israel, have been a part of the air war, for lack of better terms. They've been Operation Epic Fury, while Iranians in the trenches, the ground war, are really in Operation Crouching Lion. I really believe, and just talking to Iranian pastors in Iran, friends in Iran, I really believe that there's been a lot of fear. That's what terrorists do. They currency in fear. But despite the fear, the courage of the spirit of the lion, the courage of the Iranian people is in a moment where they are preparing. I think three things are happening, Laura. I think, number one, people within the IRGC are talking and maneuvering to maybe defect. That would mean that people who have access to weapons, access to mobilize people that would turn over from the government might actually right now be in that cusp of decision. We saw that happen in the past in Iran. Number two, I think the CIA and Israeli intelligence are equipping Iranians in the trenches with weapons and intelligence to prepare. And number three, the message has been clear from our allies. This is a moment for them to prepare and pause while strategic strikes are happening to weaken this regime so that when the time comes, they can step in for the good fight.
All right, David, CNN is reporting that the security forces of the IRGC on the ground in Tehran, this is how they analyzed it.
The regime feels emboldened enough, powerful enough still to be on the streets to try and make sure that they are keeping the population under control. So if you wanted regime change, so far, that is not what we're seeing.
David, I understand that. It obviously must be terrifying, but there has to be an inflection point, correct?
Absolutely. Look, fear is there because it's real. I mean, conservative estimates, Laura, tell us that 60 to maybe even 90,000 people in Iran were innocently murdered. They were butchered by these terrorists recently, within the last few months. So the valid is fear, but as we know, as we believe, courage is not the absence of fear, right? It is the triumph over it. And the people of Iran have the spirit of a lion. I'm even thinking about, for example, these athletes from the Iranian soccer team, these heroic women who stood their ground and then were given an opportunity to defect. And some of them, rightfully so, said, this is what I'm going to do. But some of them are going back, not to be politicians, but to stand in resistance to say, we're standing for freedom. And the Iranian people are not going back. Yep. This has been the tipping point we've been waiting for. For 47 years, we've been wanting this.
They're they're gonna have to do it because freedom is costly,
Yeah.
right? Our soldiers
Amen.
are dying. Our soldiers are dying in this. Israel's citizens are dying. We have more than 100 soldiers wounded, some seriously wounded. So like we're paying a big price. So the Iranian people need to stand up as much in fear. We just learned from Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Defense, David, that 6 ballistic missiles were launched toward the Prince Sultan Air Base. They were all intercepted. They were all destroyed. But they're not going down without a fight. Iran is going to fire off everything they have and do maximum economic damage to try to wrap this up. David, we've got to roll, but thank you very much for your input tonight. And obviously, we'll be watching this very closely.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.